Okay, getting ready to actually remove this seal from the Magneto, and I've got the little camera here sitting on a flimsy piece of cardboard. I hope it stays put, and I hope the visibility's good. But I've decided to go ahead and insert the screw here so that I'll be able to lever my claw hammer here on the thick reinforced part of this thin walled case. And so right about there I'll start driving that screw in. Hopefully this will work good. I can just find that. There we are. Let's see. This guy out of the way. Right. Right there. This is going to be a little tougher to get in there. I may need to, I think I will use a pair of needle nose to hold that screw. My hand's too big. Let's see how this does. I can get her right in about here, I think. Sliding around. There she goes. Come on. You don't want to be hitting that damn thing. I think I'm getting there. Alright, she's in. It feels pretty firm. I'm really not happy about hitting that. Get my claw hammer and my piece of cardboard. Alright. This is what I was using before. Hopefully. Look at that, coming right out. That is how that's done. So, success. Let me just take a look. There's the screw sticking through, and you can see the screw is right on the edge of the ear. Not too deep, just about right. And I can't tell to look at this seal. I saw no signs whatever of leakage. But according to the boys on the Enduro board, can't tell to look at them. So even though there's no oil leaking out around this seal, doesn't mean that it hasn't been sucking air, because it has lost its integrity. So based on their recommendations, I've gone ahead and removed it. And next up, I will be inserting a new seal. It was my plan to use a little trick I found on the internet that I thought really was clever, and that was, some fellow suggested getting a piece of pipe. Of course, normally what you would do is you'd use a socket the same size as the outside diameter of this rim here to drive the seal in. But I don't have any sockets that big. It's over 2 inches. So I went up to the hardware store, and this ABS, it's like for drain pipe, is about the same size. Take that screw out. And it would work good for driving that seal in. Fits on it nicely. Problem is, you go to drive the seal in here, like so. The trick was that he had recommended was you would put a piece of tubing over this, and well, actually his idea was to use put a nut on this shaft, thread a bolt into it, put a washer on the bolt, and then tighten that nut to squeeze this thing down, and that way you're driving this, you're screwing the seal in instead of pounding it in. And so I thought about that, and I thought, you know, I've got a bolt, I can use this. This thing was just a little longer. What I would do is just a hair longer. I would put the flywheel nut on there. This is not the flywheel nut, but it's the same size. I actually have to use the second washer. And thread that on, tighten it up, and as I tighten it down, it's pushing that seal in nice and smoothly instead of having to use the hammer, which is, I think, the typical way. But I may run up to the hardware store, see if I can get a piece of ABS that's just a hair longer, somewhere between 1/4 and 3/4 of an inch longer. And when I do and get ready to drive the seal in, I'll shoot another movie. Now, wasn't that fun?